Everyone, welcome to Hope Conference EventCast. This is so much fun to be able to be with you today. I just wanted to take a few minutes to get in and talk a little bit about what we're going to be discussing at this year's conference. And I've invited our good friends over at Kedrion to join me for just a few minutes to talk a little bit about what they see happening and really the future of their organization and what's going on over there. And today I'm overjoyed to have Giorgio Mazzetti. I'm going to say your name wrong. I know it's going to
You
happen.
did well. You did well.
I'm trying. But no, Giorgio's with us as the VP of Commercial Operations for Kedrion, and it's great to see you today. Thank you so much for joining us for Hope Conference.
It really is a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's always just been so wonderful to have the support of Kedrion, and everything that we do is we're supporting patients day in and day out. And I know that that's a huge commitment that Kedrion has, but I've heard a lot of good things about what's going on over there. And you have not only been a mainstay in our community for a long time, but you've also got some new things that are developing as well. So I'm anxious to dive in and just talk a little bit about what are you excited about, and what does the future look like for Kedrion within the bleeding disorder community?
Absolutely. So we are obviously a presence in the hemophilia. We continue to be. We envision to be also for the near future. We are 10 years in US this year. We celebrate that, but obviously in Italy, the company has a much longer presence. So we continue to do investment also in the US. As you mentioned recently, we acquire a company with an incredible product for plasminogen deficiencies, type 1, which is in the blood disorders, probably at the end of a coagulation cascade, but it's still something completely unknown. We need to do a lot of education, so obviously, to recognize the disease and to treat the disease, but having an option for that treatment is a critical step forward. And that is another small step in the right direction, I would say.
That's so good. And I know that the as you talk about the coagulation cascade, you guys have been really instrumental in helping patients with inhibitors for a long time in hemophilia. You do several other things as it pertains to the whole coagulation cascade. So this is exciting that you're getting a new product and you're going to be able to serve more people. One of the things you mentioned to me before was that this community is one that is sort of still intertwined with the overall bleeding disorders community, working with Dr. Amy Shapiro and working with several others who are really trying to advance this work. Something that you mentioned to me about a lot of these researchers and scientists and physicians are also affected themselves, very similar to what we see in a lot of areas in the bleeding disorder community. Is that right?
Absolutely. So the fantastic things of this community, which is really, there is not it's just a continuity between healthcare provider, patients, caregivers, and us also in the industry side. Part also of the people in the team of catering is also affected personally by the disease. So this is not something that we are just there by chance. This is because we have very much motivated people to continue to drive that knowledge. I continue to insist knowledge because being educated, knowing what you have is a fantastic first step in order to get to the right solution. So no one is equal. Everyone is different, and we need to recognize that difference. There is a lot of unknown yet from the clinical perspective, from the treatment perspective, and we want to continue to develop that aspect. So know more. For example, even with all products, we obviously, we have plasma-derived factor VIII, but I believe still that continue to give us important solutions, and we continue to explore innovation with that compound. So there is not an ending to this. So, and as you said, sometimes it really is the ability of the people to continue to push for the difference to reach really, because I'm not satisfied with the diagnosis, I'm not satisfied with what I know, there is too much unknown. And as you said, it takes a village to do innovation, and to really continue to move the needle in favor. In the last 20, 30 years, there's been done so much progress for this community, but there is still a lot that can be done. and your passion and the people passion is what drives the most of this innovation.
That's so wonderful to hear. I know that it's, sometimes I think as a patient myself even, but even I think within the community, a lot of times we, feel like that there's maybe a disconnect between the people who are maybe making the manufacturing the drug versus the people who are actually taking the drug. And one of the things I've just appreciated so much about Kedrian and what you have talked about here even is that there's a deep commitment to the person as an individual and seeing the value in those people as humans that need solutions that need to be cared for. And you guys have done that well. Really, as a company culture, you put the patient first all the time. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's at the core of what we do to care really for people. And I cannot express more than that. But I tell you, every one of us has a different role, but everyone has a commitment really to serve the patient at the end. So, and that is the question I ask all the time: who do you work for? Keep
Mm.
that at the center of what you do, because it's what you give you the strength to do the extra mile. Or sometimes you are frustrated because the things don't happen as fast as you want. Regulatory is a major challenge all the time. You deal with legal issues or financial issues, but doesn't matter. Continue to really stand up and think about who you serve, who you work for, and that will make things more, obviously, provide motivation to continue to pass all the hurdles. My goal, for example, is try to, when I say sustainable futures, means how can I converge and make it feasible to continue to provide innovation and convince the company to continue to put money in, while obviously also as a private uh, entity providing salaries to everyone and continue also to have research ongoing. So that is not an easy path, but I with if you have the right compass, you can navigate that waters and try to find really where you are, your direction. So this is my hope all the time. Say, keep in mind who you work for, because today you may be in one side, tomorrow you will be in the other side. Compassion is there. Compassion is be at the same passion and be in the same footsteps of who you serve. So
That's so good. That's so good, Giorgio. Well, I'm excited because Kedron is going to be doing a breakout session to talk a little bit about the role of factor VIII in the current environment in the
mm,
hemophilia and bleeding disorders space. And that's going to be on Friday, the 5th. I believe it's at 3 p.m., but you can check out the details on our website. There's still time for you to register to learn more about all of the sessions that are going on. So make sure that you check out the website and learn more about that. But Giorgio, it's so fantastic to have you with me today. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be a part of this conference and to have this conversation. I think I've learned a lot just about the core of your mission and some new things that are going on. And it's wonderful to
and
connect.
yeah, and if you allow me, so the conversation say, oh, plasma derived factor VIII, what is new? But there is still something new. Don't worry about it, because obviously our medical director will be addressing that with very thought-provoking, intriguing questions, because the science is still evolving, and there are still roles for this product. I strongly believe that we are still investing to understand all the proteins that there, what are the roles that they have in the bleeding disorders. So I enjoy that talk.
I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited about it, and I think it's going to be really great. But thank you again, Giorgio, for joining me today. And we look forward to seeing you guys soon in the next session.
Uh, Thanks for allowing me to be here, and really a pleasure, a true pleasure.
All right, great. Take care.
Bye. Bye.